Hello, I just wanted to start this episode off by letting everybody know apologies in advance for the slight technical difficulties. You'll probably notice once we get into the episode that I had some difficulties with the audio in this one. So you may notice in the first kind of half of the video, we don't have any game sounds. There were some issues I was having with my recording, and it didn't end up recording any of the game sounds for most of the first half of the recording that I did for this episode. And then in the second half of the episode, I didn't have any talking sound. So you'll notice there'll be a kind of a jump from regular, talking and playing to a bit of a voiceover section a little bit later in the episode. Hope that's okay. Just wanted to give you a little heads up before we get into it. But with that, let's get into the episode. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Surviving with Sicket.
Subscribe.
Thanks so much for tuning back in for another episode. As you can probably see, we've made quite a bit of progress here off camera, getting some stuff done. You see my armor has changed from the iron armor that we had in the last episode to some enchanted diamond armor now. So making a lot of progress off camera. I didn't have a lot of time to record in the last week or so. So I've been doing a bit of off camera work and getting the villagers going. So kind of show you a little bit of what we got done and then get started with our adventures for this episode. So like I mentioned, been doing quite a bit of work off camera here. As you can see, we've got some villagers going. I did just stick them in this little starter hole in the wall that we had. I've kind of caged off the entrance to the mine here, so hopefully none of the villagers venture down that way. But like I said, we got our diamond armor. We've got our armorer villager up to fully up to the master profession here. So he's got all of our diamond leggings, boots, helmet, all that good stuff, the chest plate, everything there for our diamond armor. I did also get the weaponsmith maxed out to master as well, so we can get axes and swords from him. And then we got the toolsmith so that we can get the diamond shovel and pickaxes. He can sometimes have a diamond hoe, I believe, here as well. This one just had a enchanted iron pickaxe, but that's all right. Diamond hoe is not something that we're going to need too often. We can always make one of those if we need to. We did also get a few librarians here. Got one with the Unbreaking 3 book and one with a mending book, and those are going to be real helpful for when we do go into the end. So when we find our first elytra, hopefully we can bring some levels with us and a couple books and maybe an anvil. That way we can enchant an elytra and be able to fly around a little bit more in the end once we get there. Also did get a farmer going so we can start eating the golden carrots, which are a really good food source for us. But yeah, that's kind of where we've left off as far as the off-camera work. Well, I guess one more thing we did do is set up the enchanting setup in here. So we go right upstairs here, you'll see we got our bookshelves and our enchanting tables set up, and it does have the level 30 enchantments because it's got the 15 bookshelves surrounding it. So got a little enchanting set up here. So we have actually disenchanted and re-enchanted some of the armor and the tools. So we got a Fortune 3 pickaxe now and a Silk Touch pickaxe. Got another extra pickaxe here that I've been kind of trying to get another efficiency 4 on, but haven't quite gotten that yet. So really good progress that we've made off camera to get us to a point where now what I think we can do is probably head into the Nether and hopefully try to find a fortress. We're going to go searching a ways in the Nether, trying to find a fortress so that we can get some blaze rods. And then maybe we'll also try to search out a warped forest, which is like the blue forest biome in the Nether, because you can get a lot of Endermen. Endermen are actually the only thing that spawn in the warped forest, so we can get some ender pearls that way, and that'll get us on our way to hopefully going to find a stronghold and starting to be ready to make our way to the end and kill the ender dragon. And I don't know if we'll do that in this episode. We might kind of make a another episode of going to the fortress, or the excuse me, the stronghold, and doing the actual Ender Dragon fight, so that can kind of be a separate thing. But we'll at least get in there to the Nether and see if we can't find a Nether fortress to get ourselves those blaze rods and those materials that we're going to need to actually go find the stronghold to be able to get to the end. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just head over into the Nether and maybe start doing a little bit looking around and see what we can find. All right, so we're back over here at our Nether portal here. I did grab some materials that we might need. We got a good bit of cobblestone. I did bring a golden helmet as well, which I think we will swap on right now. I made a new one just because that other one that we had was getting a bit low on durability. We've got our sword here as well, does have looting 3 on it, so that'll be good if we do find a warped forest biome to get some of those ender pearls. And I also did, I don't think I mentioned this, I got power 4 and infinity on a bow, so we don't have to worry about running out of arrows. The infinity enchantment will make it so that we don't actually use up the arrows that we shoot, so that will be awesome. So let's dive right in and see what we can find in there. So as you know, we didn't really do much searching around in the Nether last time we were here. We really just kind of went up there in our little pillar and got a bit of quartz so that we could make the sugarcane farm with make the observers for that. So I'm really not sure what direction we should go in, but I think we're just gonna pick a direction. Maybe just like last time, we'll hit F3 here, bring up our hub. Maybe we'll just head to the north like we did before. It looks like there's more land this way. It looks like a bit of lava, kind of a steep drop off here to our south side. So I think we'll just head to the north and see if we can't find anything good. I did bring an empty bucket so we can maybe pick up some lava. That might help us defending ourselves against some of the big the hoglins, which are not the pig men here, but the actual pig looking guys like that guy over there. So we may be able to pick up some lava to help defend ourselves against those guys, but we're just going to head out and see what we can find. Pick up one of these. This will help us with these guys as well. This can help defend us. This little plant here will hopefully keep away some of those hoglins as well. So we're gonna take this with us and keep venturing off to the north here. So it looks like we've gone about as far north as we can here. Just ran into a big drop off into a lava lake. Not seeing anything right away that's of interest, though it did kind of remind me that one thing we could try to do if we don't find anything real close by is we could go back. I believe we did find a saddle at one point, if I'm not mistaken. So what we could do is try to see if we could saddle up a strider and get a warped fungus on a stick, which is warped fungus is what the striders like to eat. And if you're not familiar with a pig, the way you ride them with a carrot on a stick, well, you can put a carrot on a stick and ride around on a pig with a saddle, but also with the striders down there, that's what they're called, you can put a fungus on a stick and put a saddle on a strider and ride them around through the lava. So that might be an option. If we don't find anything, maybe searching around this area a little bit more, might go back and grab the saddle and see if we can't do it that way. But I'm going to search a little more and then we'll decide if we need to head back and get that. Oh, there's an enderman over there. That could be useful. Make our way over that way. Oh. Well, as soon as we got over here, it looks like he may have disappeared. But at least we are out of the Crimson Forest for now. Let's see if we can't find anything out here for possible fortress. I know they are usually a little bit further out, so we may have to travel a bit further. It may not be a bad idea to head back and get that saddle for the strider and see if that's a better way to kind of go around the lava lakes and see if we can't find something. I think I'll explore around a little bit more. But pretty soon here we may head back and just grab that saddle and see if that will help us find a fortress a little bit quicker. Oh, there's another enderman there. See if we can't dig into the wall here and see if he'll give us an ender pearl. The endermen, since they're 3 blocks tall, won't be able to get us in here, so we should be safe to look him right in the eyes, which will make him pretty mad. And then dive back into our hole here and take him out. They are quite loud. Come on, come back down here, please. Yes. We got one ender pearl from him there. That's a good start. Okay, well, we've explored a good bit to the north. Haven't really found anything. I did kind of go to the east and west a little bit, just kind of off to the sides a little bit as well. Nothing so far, so I think we may go ahead and head back and grab that saddle and see if we can't use that, and maybe even go, that'll help us go down to the south side a little bit more as well from our portal, and maybe we can find a fortress that way. I know it's sometimes a better way to be able to see them when you're kind of lower down. As you can see, we're pretty high up here. Being a little bit lower down, maybe being able to just see the edges of some of those supporting structures that they... Oh! Look at what we have there. Just as I was saying, we should start heading back. That is just too perfect. Is that... Yep, that's definitely the end of a fortress. Now, how do we get over there? Wonder if this wraps around to where we can get over to that. Let me see if I can find a way down there somehow. We definitely have a fortress there. This is the Nether fortress, or at least kind of one of the outskirts of it here. Just gonna be a little tricky to get down to it. Maybe we'll try to dig down through the wall here. Hopefully no lava falls on our head. Oh, that was a close one. All right, so we've gotten to the fortress, and we should, once we enter the hitbox, yep, get our achievement for a terrible fortress. And that is exactly what we're looking for right over there. That is a blaze. We're going to need to get some of them to get blaze rods. I forgot to bring my shield, but luckily, looks like I did bring some iron. So we are going to craft ourselves up a shield right now and throw that on, because these blaze are going to definitely be throwing some fireballs at us. We could try to take them out from range with our bow, but we do have looting on our swords, so that will help with the drop rate. Oh, hello. He saw us already. I am also wondering if maybe we can find an actual blaze spawner somewhere, because the fortresses will have blaze spawners in them, which would help us get a lot more blaze to get enough blaze rods for what we need. We only need, well, we need at least 12 Eyes of Ender, which is going to be a blaze rod, or a blaze powder, I believe, and an Ender Pearl mixed together. So at least 12 of those, because when we get to the stronghold, there are 12 spots to fill in with the Eye of Enders. We're not necessarily going to need all of them, because sometimes you can find them where there's part of the portal already filled in, but having at least 12 when we get there will help to make sure that just in case it's not filled in at all, we have enough. But we're going to need more than 12, because to get to that end portal, or the what's that thing called? The stronghold. That's what it's called. The stronghold, which is where the end portal is. To get to that, we need to use some of the Eyes of Ender. We need to throw them in the air, and I'll demonstrate that once we get to that point. But we do have to throw those in the air, and sometimes they can break. So we'll want to have more than just the 12, so that we have enough to make sure we can get there and potentially fill in all 12 spots if there's none that are actually already filled in. So let's fight some of these blaze. Be careful not to hit the zombified pigmen, because that will make them very angry, and all their friends will come for us. One tough thing with these blaze is that they do float upwards sometimes. Oh no. That was kind of what we didn't want, was to get set on fire. We can back off a little bit and eat some food. And you can see we get an enchantment for getting our first blaze rod into fire. Alright, so as I mentioned in the beginning of the episode, this is the part of the episode where we had some trouble with the audio recording. So a little bit of a voiceover section here, a little bit different than what I normally do. But as you can see, we are venturing through the Nether fortress here a little bit further in search of some blaze rods. a lot of lava in this nether fortress here, so trying to take care of some of that. But we kind of started venturing down, and we do eventually see there is a blaze spawner down here at this end. So we take out this blaze that's in our way and make our way down to the blaze spawner. Do a little bit of blaze slaying, get lit on fire a few times, but we take a little bit of time to farm up some blaze rods here. That's going to be helpful for us trying to get those eyes of ender that we need to get to get to the end portal. So we ended up getting, I believe, 20 or 15 or so blaze rods, I believe, and that's going to be plenty for us to use to get ourselves to the stronghold. So we start venturing out of here, and now we are going to start getting or going in search of a warped forest is what we're looking for at this point. So we're going to climb our way out of this hole here, out of where the nether fortress is, and go start doing a bit of searching for a warped forest. Do a little bit of pillaring or bridging over some lava here, trying to not fall to our doom. We fall, but luckily not to our doom. We just fall down to take out this first enderman that we spotted. So we spotted an enderman down here. We haven't found a warped forest, but figure might as well get a start on it. So we drag him down into this little hole and try to very carefully hit him without hitting the zombie pigman that you saw was right behind him there. A little more bridging over some lava, some ghast attacks while we're trying to bridge over lava, which is never a fun time. So we try to take care of the ghast there before we get splatted into the lava off our bridge here. Get a little bit further down here and still in search of a warped forest. Nothing yet, so we're gonna kind of make our way down a little bit further, possibly fall down. Venture over through the Soul Sand Valley where there's some skeletons battling each other. I'm going to continue on, kind of looking around, see if we can spot anything out here. So far, nothing yet. Just going to kind of continue venturing on, seeing if we can't spot anything, any signs of a warped forest. Aside to this point, maybe we should pillar up, get a little bit of height to maybe help us see some more of our surroundings here. As we come through here, we do find that there's actually another nether fortress that is somewhat towards our portal area, and right then we also notice the edge of a warped forest. So start to try to make our way around, see if we can find a way around to get to that warped forest. Was a little bit of a canyon there in the middle, so had to kind of make our way around and see if we could find a way to get over into that warped forest area. So we pillar over a bit more lava. It's a pretty long drop there. Don't want to be falling down, end up running out of the netherrack blocks, switching over to the cobble here. So we continue our bridge along, try to make it over, see if we can't get all the way across and figure out where that warped forest might be. We spot a bastion over here, so we're going to try to avoid that a bit. We kind of circle around into this crimson forest, get over to the tops of these trees and do a little bit of treetop parkour, trying to make sure we don't get attacked by too many of the hoglins down there. So we make our way across some of these treetops and do a little bit more parkour and try to avoid the lava. So we box that lava in. Unfortunately, that sends it right around behind us and we still get lit on fire. So we save ourselves with some of these golden carrots that we've gotten and finally block off that lava and continue our lava bridging expedition here, getting across this big area, trying to kind of make our way around that bastion there, and finally we do spot some more of the warped forest. So we do end up using one of our ender pearls that we had to get down here, since now we can start farming up some more of those and make our way into the warped forest. Spot a few endermen, so figure we might as well start getting a few of those, and we drag this next one here into a little hole and figure might as well start farming them up while we see them. We take out this enderman here to get a couple ender pearls and venture our way a little bit further into the warped forest, and then try to find a little bit more of an open area here in the warped forest so we can get a few more endermen. So we build ourselves a little a little roof over our heads to try to protect us, and we start farming up some endermen. Get a few more ender pearls there, stare at a few more endermen, get them to come over. And we start venturing out a little bit and spot a guy who's kind of wandered out of the area, so we take him out, not without hitting a little piglin in the process. So we run back over into the warp forest to try to avoid any more piglins coming at us, and farm up a few more ender pearls here, realizing that we really needed to eat, so we cat on some of those carrots and continue on our enderman farming. Take out a few more endermen. We can see a few more across the way there, so we just have to look them dead in the eyes and they come flying across, and farm up a few more ender pearls. And here comes another one. Take him out. At this point, I think we started to get pretty close. I think after these ones, we ended up with about 25 ender pearls, so that was plenty. So we started to make our way back. Did run through that bastion there. I think here's probably where I started talking about how this isn't something we're going to do in this episode, but something we'll definitely come back to in the future. For now, we're going to continue to make our way back to the portal now that we've gotten the ender pearls and the blaze rods that we need. So a little more treetop parkour to try to make our way back and eventually get our way back over to the portal here. So at this point, we can make our way back into the overworld with our newly gotten ender pearls and blaze rods. That'll help us to make our way to the stronghold. Probably what we'll do in the next episode is make those up into some eyes of ender and start figuring out our way out into a stronghold out, start venturing out to find one of those. So at this point, we're making our way back to the base. This is kind of where we are going to start to, finish it up for this episode, because we've gotten the ender pearls and the blaze rods that we need. But what we'll probably do is, in the next episode, venture out and go looking for that stronghold and try to kill the ender dragon. And once we do that, then I think our main focus going forward, at least for the next several episodes, will be starting to build up the village that we wanted to build up. So we've got our starter house, but as we talked about earlier, we want to get these villagers out of the little hidey hole here and maybe start building some houses for them, and be able to get them some, maybe not quite as big as our starter house here, but get them some houses that we can put them into and be able to start kind of trading with them in a more sophisticated way, with them having their own little areas to stay in. But like I said, now that we've got our ender pearls and our blaze rods, that's where we'll start to call it for this episode. And so thank you everybody for watching. Everybody have a great day, great night, great evening, and we'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye.